Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. It is the Jalissa Joy. Today, I had the opportunity to speak with Margie Zarcone of Standby for Places podcast. She is a true Christmas inspiration, so I had to bring her on because I have something to say, and she has something to say. She's an amazing artist and professional. Let's get to it. Hello, everyone. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Jalissa.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I brought you on for Say Something Christmas inspiration because you are definitely inspiration for this season. You've been working and hustling. Like I met Margie, guys, or people out there. I met her in grad school. So like I've known her for some time.
Thank you so
And
much for having me, Jalissa.
thank you for being here. Like this is amazing. So I know
cool.
that you are part of a company called Standby for Places podcast. So tell us about that. Tell us how you got involved. Like, I believe you're one of the founders, right?
Yes, I am a co-creator of Standby for Places. And this actually started over the summer back in August. I was having a very frustrated conversation with my friend Frida Matea, who is a stage manager at On the Isle on Nantucket. And we were just talking about how displaced we felt as actors, as creators, as performers, and how helpless we felt and how much we missed just doing our job. It's a, well, you know, when you're an artist, it's your identity. It's what you need to be doing. You need to be creating. And we were just kind of spitballing about how we could make that happen and how we could provide opportunities for our friends and coworkers and just maybe learn a new skill together, you know, while we're kind of in holding. What can we do with that time to use it as effectively, creatively, and socially as we can? So we decided, well, none of us know much about voice acting, and that's always something that actors and directors and creators are always throwing around as a, oh, well, at some point I'll make a voice reel and I'll submit for voice acting, but we never have time to do it. So we figured, how about we all get together, we pick some public domain plays, and we just start recording. And it kind of snowballed into being a podcast. We had imagined like the old school nostalgia of all sitting around, we don't remember this, I'm acting like I was there, sitting around listening to a story on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And we were thinking, well, that's something that hasn't happened before. There haven't been full recordings of plays.
Yeah.
And that would be a great way for us all to generate a good voice reel. We can provide good content for actors to have something to add to the resume during the 6+ months of dead air.
Exactly. And I love like the name of it because it tells you exactly what it's about. Standby for Places. And I was like, I get it immediately when I look at it. Like, I love it. And
I had suggested the all nude podcast, but that didn't go over too well. I was like, get it? Because it's, you know, no one would know because we're on and they're like, no, we get it.
No, we get it.
No, we get it.
But yeah, I really do love what you guys are doing because you're right. Like during COVID, it was crazy. Like when it initially hit, and then you and I were talking, I think earlier this week, about how we're just stuck in Black Mirror. Like we're stuck in like this extended episode of Black Mirror, and it's like, when is it gonna stop? When is it gonna be over? And I think I love how people like you have taken the initiative during this time to cultivate and still create. And I think as artists, you know, our creativity extends beyond the creating art. Like we also create businesses, and we create other avenues and opportunities for ourselves and our friends. And that's exactly what you did. And so I love that. I love that you and Frida got together and did this amazing thing. So the next thing that I want to get into, people, She adapted A Christmas Carol. Now, I don't know about you. Margie, do you have that book? Do you have that book anywhere? If you don't, because
Oh my God, it's
yeah. Okay, so that book is thick. All right, it's a thick book, and that I think it's one of his shortest, right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have the patience. Like I would never, sit down and adapt something like that. So take me through that process. Like how was that? Because what Margie did she decided? Well, I'm gonna let you tell the story.
Okay. So basically what happened was I'm primarily an actor. And I never thought in a million years I would be capable of writing or adapting or directing. And what has been really beautiful about Standby for Places is it's become this sort of safe workshop for all of us to try our hand at skills within the creative community that we wouldn't normally get the chance to learn on the go. And I would never have gotten the chance to direct something without the pressure of this has got to be great. You have to know exactly what you're doing. I was within the company of people that were all learning together, and we're all cultivating these new skills that we'll be able to carry with us for the rest of our career. So with A Christmas Carol, we were having our production meeting, and I had thrown out there doing a holiday special. And all of the directors were already busy, and Frida said, well, why don't you do it? And I was like, okay. You know what? Why don't I do it? I'll do it. So I knew that Christmas Carol was in the public domain. What I didn't realize was that the play is not in the public domain. Yes. So that's the reason I initially ended up adapting it.
I see.
Because unless I wanted to do a cover-to-cover read of the novel, I wouldn't be able to do one of the play versions without getting the rights, etc. And we wanted to stick with public domain.
Right.
So what was really interesting about the process was I had creative license to go through this material and pick out certain moments that would resonate more when you're only hearing it vocally versus on stage or reading a novel. So I got to focus more on certain pieces, elements of sound, elements of description and narration that otherwise maybe wouldn't be focused on, and also elaborate on different pieces in the novel that were left out of the other plays. So that was a really interesting process, and it's almost become this kind of living document where I'll be able to go back year after year and listen to it and say, well, that didn't work, or, I'd really like to elaborate on this character, maybe provide a little more backstory, adjust some sound. That also made it a very difficult process, a lot of trial and error of, this doesn't translate, just vocally, I need to edit the narration here. And having such amazing actors with me along for the ride has been truly such a blessing.
Okay, so you talk about bringing in people and having people together. How did you decide or know who you wanted to work with for A Christmas Carol? And since you're doing something different, because I understand that this is a different medium, like everyone's learning, and as you're creating, you're focusing on like the sound, not so much because we don't have like our faces and our bodies to tell the story. It's just our voices. So how did you choose who you were going to work with for this?
Well, very easily. I wanted friends, and I wanted playful friends, and I wanted people I had grown with as an actor, as a creator, who we could continue to grow together. And it's a strange thing, the pandemic and all of the interactions over Zoom that we've been having, I have ended up connecting and staying in touch more with people that I typically, like, I'm not in the same area as you. and we probably wouldn't be able to get to see each other much. But this has really reinforced the idea of connecting, and it's so important to stay in touch with those people that you really vibrate on the same wavelength as, both creatively and personally and emotionally. So I basically, the first thing I did was just read it cover to cover. And then I knew the people I wanted to cast. And I thought, okay, let's put them in fun spots that, you know, maybe age-wise, they wouldn't get to play these characters. But when it's just your voice, no one knows how old you are. It doesn't make a difference.
Absolutely.
So I really just picked the people I wanted to work with first.
Right.
And then I went through the characters and I thought, what would be fun for them? And that's how we did it. And it's been really a breath of fresh air from what we have to do as artists, which is so against our nature of trying to fit ourselves into some box or category in order to get a part. This provided the opportunity to, what would be fun for Jalissa?
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Yeah, because people, I'm in it. So I am 4 characters.
She is excellent. She is excellent.
Thank you. So I'm 4 characters, and it absolutely was so much fun to do, and it was very outside of the box, because you're absolutely right. Like, you gave me a mother, Belle, which is, you know,
an ingenue,
and I was a charity solicitor and a broker, which is a man. I decided to make him a man. And all of these different characters, just speaking to what you said, I definitely would. I don't look like a mom. Like, I mean, I'm also not a mother, but I don't look old enough to
correct
do that.
You don't. Yes.
You don't.
Mrs. Cratchit is supposed to be middle-aged, 40s, 50s, which is not you.
Okay, which is not me. Like, I went to a club like last year, and the guy saw my ID, and he literally thought that it was fake.
Stop.
He thought I had a fake ID, and I'm like, I am well over the age of 21.
I'm always like offering my ID. I'm always like, do you want to check it? Want to check my ID? We're fine.
Yeah. So it was so much fun, and allowing us, like, I can speak, you know, from being an actor and having the opportunity to do voice work. Like, this was like life-changing, because this is something that I always wanted to do. So when Margie came and asked me about it, I was like, oh my God, yes, I get to play around with my voice and be like all these fake people, and I get to do it with other cool people. And it just, doing the opportunity that you created for all of us. You know, we have voice roles now. We are able to show like different dialects and accent and characters that we can do. And this gives us the opportunity to be able to, you know, get potential work in the future with other places. And it shows also what you can do. And it's just I just think it's like, people, this is a Christmas, this is why she's here, because she is a Christmas inspiration. Like, this is literally taking what you have and making like the most out of it, you know. And also she was able to get us paid. Like, tell us about that, because I know that is something that is a core principle of what your company is about. Like, I'll let you talk for it. Okay.
Yes, we are a nonprofit. Right now, very early stages. We are existing solely on donations. If we could maybe put the link to, we have a GoFundMe page.
Yes, yes, I'll put that down in the description of this video.
That'd be amazing. So we're existing solely on our GoFundMe, as well as from our own pockets, which is something that we are happy to do, because we want, even though we're only able to provide a small stipend so far, we want everyone to know that your time and talent is appreciated and valued, and that it is not a glorified hobby. It is a career, it is a lifestyle, it is a vocation. And it's important to us. We will not do a production without being able to provide some sort of small thank you, because artists are valued and our work is just as important as anything else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking to artists' work being valued, I know that there's been studies that have been shown when you're young, if you've had the opportunity to see shows and plays, it helps establish empathy. So the work that artists do is completely important. It's important to growth as humans and to love and help, push our society forward in a positive direction. So we're just as important as everybody else, as all other professional forms that are not artistic. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, what advice would you give people that are looking to do something, that if they're an artist and they want to do something with their time right now and they can't really figure it out, how would you advise them to move forward?
Over the summer, and this was actually coincidentally right before the conversation I had with Frida, I read the book Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Have you heard of that book? So she wrote Eat, Pray, Love. She's an extremely prolific author. And she wrote a book, Big Magic, a couple of years ago, which is about the creative process and living a creative life. And that book inspired me and charged me to feel like I could do absolutely anything. And as corny as it sounds, that I felt like that. One of the things that she mentions in the book, it's filled with just jewels of inspiration, truly. She takes you through her creative process of coming up with an idea and, in general, just living a creative life. And that doesn't mean isolating yourself in a village in Russia, not speaking to anyone and writing the next great American novel. That's not what she's talking about. When she talks about living a creative life, she means to follow whatever that little interest is and follow it as far as it'll go. And not to let things like ego get in the way of, it's not going to be good. People aren't going to like it. Make it for you. Humans have been, there's no such thing as a creative person because all humans are creative. It's what we were put here to do, make things. It's what we want to do. And the pandemic has stopped that. But people are innovative and people are inherently creative and will find a way to make it work. You just have to follow that little glimmer of, that's interesting. So then when I had the conversation with Frida, it was like, okay, the industry has stopped, but we don't have to stop. Let's do this. This is a window of opportunity. Let's take it. So I would say to anyone within the creative community or whatever you do, if something is interesting to you, follow it, because you never know where it'll end up. I never thought in a million years that this would be happening. And I now feel truly like I can do whatever I put my mind to.
So with A Christmas Carol, that is already out, people. It came out yesterday. So Margie, tell us where we can find it and how would you suggest we enjoy A Christmas Carol?
Well, we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. The name of the podcast is Stand By for Places. And I would suggest, we wanted to create something that you could have on in the background as you're making Christmas cookies, decorating the tree, just something that brings a tried and true Christmas classic into your living room. Something where you don't have to sit at a computer or at a TV and watch it because we can't be in the theater, but something that will fill the room and create ambiance. And what these actors have created is 100% worth checking out. And I don't, maybe I'm biased, but it will definitely be a tradition in my family to listen to it.
It's just everybody needs to go listen to it. And I'm not saying this just because I'm in it, but there were so many times.
A little because you're in it.
A little bit. But there's so many times, even while recording, like we were all just like, because it's funny, like it's good, and you did.
We could have published the group chat, truly,
yeah,
of just the comments that were going on as people. Oh my god,
it's a good time. Like I'm telling you, like the adaptation that you created, like it's not just funny, but you will get moments of like drama. There's drama. There's like it's like the arc of like a tragic hero. Like he goes through, this revelation and comes out like this new person. So, and there's kids, like there's a kid in it. So there's something for everyone to be.
There's a kid.
Yeah, there's a kid, and he's so adorable when you hear his voice.
He's adorable. Brittany Chapman, it's her nephew.
And
like, all of a sudden, I had this moment of panic. I was like, I don't know any kids. I don't know any kids.
It was a Christmas miracle.
And I texted her, and I was like, this is a weird question, but do you know any kids?
Right? Do you know anyone? I need a child. Help me, please.
Yeah, I need a child.
So it's wonderful. Like everybody, please go check this out. You will not regret it. Play it on repeat. Reach out to us. Let us know what you think about it. And you can follow Margie at
Standby for Places Pod. We're on Instagram, and you can also follow me at Margie Zarcone. That was my light. Oh my goodness.
We can do that again.
Hello. You can follow me on Instagram. Please don't follow me in real life.
But seriously though, don't do that.
But seriously. Thank you so much, Jalissa.
You're welcome. And I'm going to put all of this down in the description for everyone, everything that we've talked about, the book that she talks about, so that if you guys want to check out any of that, you can. Please stay tuned to everything that this woman is doing. Go follow, donate, give her everything that you can, and stand by for Places, everything that you can, because it's going to be huge. So
we want to keep actors working. We want our friends to have work. We want you to have work. Please listen, subscribe, donate, work with us. We are here for you.